A Boogie's album's out. Actually, I was supposed to do an interview with him, but I had to go to Mexico. So the day I was going to Mexico, I was supposed to do an interview with him. Hopefully, we get to reschedule it. You know what I mean? You know, I love Boogie. Boogie's my guy. Boogie's just one of those for me. I hope you guys checked out his album. I always love Boogie's music. You know, first and foremost, I'll tell you, I'm liking the album. I'll give also critique, which I think this is a little bit sad, just because, and as much as I love Boogie, I got to keep it 100. While I think this album is good, let's go back to when he dropped Hoodie Season. He had like 4 smashes on there. Boogie needs some smashes. And that's just the reality of it. And I don't know if this album really got them smashes. And unfortunately, he should have known from the last album is that if people don't get them smashes, they're going to downplay the album and they're not going to give it its proper due. And, shit. I don't know if he got them smashes, man. And by the way, time will tell and the people will tell. You know, obviously he felt comfortable enough to, you know, push it back once and felt comfortable enough to drop it. But I don't know. I'll tell you, there's some prediction on the numbers which should come out tomorrow for him. Tomorrow or Tuesday. So far, from a very preliminary, you know, numbers thing, I have him at doing 50K. That's what I have Boogie at doing. 50,000 records sold first week, which would mark the first time he sold under like 75 on an album in a while. But this is the time. This is the time where people are just whatever. Anyway, not only that, I was talking to some industry insiders today, and they said, "Ak, what's your numbers at for him?" I said, "Right now, I got him at 50K." They came back to me and they said, "We actually believe he's going to do less than that. We think he's going to do 35." And I think Boogie doing 35, being the person who I give the crown as the king of New York, signals we got to hit the alarm. We got to hit the alarm. You know, it's interesting because, you know, everyone's talking about the numbers now, right? And it's interesting because in this week, SZA, who also dropped, is expected to do 300,000 first week. Now, Boogie did actually talk on the Breakfast Club. He talked about why he believes that, you know, sales are a little bit different for hip hop artists, and this is what he said. Let's go. Oh, my bad, Chad. Gotta unmute it for y'all.
For us for a little, you know, I ain't gonna go too crazy, but they made it a little harder for us artists nowadays. I'm gonna put y'all on after this, but yeah, we gotta take.
When you say they made it harder, who made it hard?
I don't know who did that shit, but they made it tough. I'm gonna tell you a matter of fact. Fuck it, look, it used to be 1,500 streams equal 1 sale, right? They kind of doubled that now.
Really?
3,000. It's almost 3,000, yeah. So imagine what the numbers is looking like now.
But how do they just do that? How do you just calculate?
Exactly. That's out of my, you know. So I got only one job. So to fix that, I can't even, you know. I don't even know who wrote that shit down. You know, government. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. They made it harder for us for a little, you know.
All right.
Go.
You know, again, Boogie is my guy. A Boogie's one of my like top 5 favorite artists. Not only music wise, but like definitely personality wise. Like Boogie's my guy. However, you know, I always got to be true to the people. What he's saying is 100% cap. Got to be honest. I don't know if this was also spurred by even, and to make it fair to him, because I'm hearing artists echo the sentiment recently. If you watch the episode with 21 Savage and me, Drake calls in at the end, and Drake says this.
At the end of the day, you know, ever since we were gunning off the charts from Scorpion, they fixed the charts anyway. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had to they had to give other people the fair shot. So, you know, the streaming isn't what it was, but it is what it is, though. We'll do what we do. At the end of the day,
the music was great.
It's more about the feeling, the momentum. It's not about the
how long you stay around.
Okay. By the way, keep in mind, when Drake said that, A lot of people would say Drake was in his peak of selling records in around the time of Views, or you can even say Scorpion. Right before Views, he dropped What a Time to Be Alive. Or was it right after? I think it was right before. And What a Time to Be Alive sold what was it? It was like 330 something or 320 something. Her Loss sold 400. The reality behind this, and you know, that might be a coping mechanism passed on from label reps or managers to these artists. Not necessarily Drake, but like, you know, maybe A Boogie's misinformed. But let me show you Billboard streaming equivalent. This is probably gonna be it. This was in 2018. Okay, maybe Drake has a point because it happened in 2018. Scorpion dropped in 2018. Yeah. Doesn't mention numbers. Okay. Here's the point. Streaming hasn't changed. Okay, streaming hasn't changed, right? The way they count streaming hasn't changed. The problem really is music isn't getting the same momentum, or people aren't anticipating music like they used to. That's why the only people still selling are the people who haven't dropped in a long while, who have still maintained the buzz, i.e. Lil Baby. He did 200 because people were waiting for his next album. Drake is always going to do good, but the scale of how he's going to do good depends on a little bit, because especially he came off CLB, which did 600. Then he dropped Honestly Nevermind, which did 200, and then obviously went back to 400. SZA hasn't dropped in like 4 or 5 years. She's about to do 300. It's not that music is changing, it's that people aren't anticipating shit anymore. Artists don't do lead singles. Artists ain't promote the albums the same. Artists essentially are just basically doing what everybody else do. Just drop. And when you just drop, if your shit don't hit in the first week, you're done. That's the thing. And that's why even with Boogie, I think he kind of on a soft level pushed out a Take Shot song that didn't hit as a Billboard hit. It didn't just take off. So you know what? The album better have that anticipation that everybody's going to stream every song. Most albums are driven by 1 or 2 songs. I don't know if you guys know. So, to speak to what Boogie was talking about, which just isn't the truth of it changing in the last few years. There has been changes in the last few years, but it's a adjustment to the waiting, which means greater emphasis will be given to paid subscription with ad-supported activity rather than is given to paid subscriptions than ones with ad-supported activity. So, for example, and by the way, you know, everybody thought, like in the industry, I don't know if y'all knew, in the industry, this rule was considered to be the NBA YoungBoy killer. I'm going to be very clear. This rule here was supposed to be the NBA YoungBoy 6ix9ine killer. I'm going to add both of those artists in there. I'll tell you why. Because NBA YoungBoy and 6ix9ine used to drop songs that comparatively, 6ix9ine would have a song that did 150 million streams on YouTube, but would have done 20 million streams on Spotify. What the adjustment to the weighting, the weighted streams would be is that if people are watching it on YouTube, it takes twice as much streams on YouTube versus if somebody actually plunks their credit card down for Apple Music or Spotify. So, for example, they actually lessen for Spotify and Apple Music is $13.50, and maybe I could find a new article with that. $13.50 streams. You're gonna see it. $13.50 streams. Let's go to news. I'll see it right here probably. $13.50. Hold on, Billboard rules. Hold on. $13.50. So essentially, they lessen the amount of streams. They lessen the amount of streams that. Okay, I can't. They lessen the amount of streams that it takes to get a sale. So now, if it's all paid, it's $13.50. Okay. However, if it's a mix of paid and if it's a mix of paid and ad supported, and ad supported is pretty much just YouTube, right? So there's a few places that do ad supported. So for example, if y'all go to Spotify, right, and I tell, oh yeah, y'all need to sign up for an account on Spotify because I drop my podcast exclusively on Spotify. But some of y'all might not have paid for Spotify, right? You can watch my podcast for free. Now, when you watch my podcast or you listen to music for free, which you can on Spotify, you're going to get ads. So like every 2-3 songs, you're going to get ads. If you listen to Pandora, if you don't have like some premium account, you're going to get ads. So you can listen to music, but you're going to get ads. What happens is if you're the person who's getting ads, whether on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, you're essentially going to be, you need to stream that song way more times for it to be a sale, just because $13.50 does not equal to 13.50 streams of a ad-supported stream does not equal to one person that's paying $10 and whatever that little tiny cut is. And that might be confusing, but that's just how they've ruled it, right? So what ended up happening is that there is a total for people who do not. So imagine somebody like Youngboy, and let's say he dropped a song only on YouTube, and say none of his fans have YouTube Red, YouTube or YouTube Music, right? I think YouTube Red and YouTube Music is almost like parallel, right? It would take 3,000 streams. So Youngboy would nearly have to stream more than double to equal the sales of everybody else. Because, everybody keeps saying, Youngboy is only YouTube. Remember, everybody be like, oh yeah, 6ix9ine go crazy on YouTube, but they don't get a lot. Those artists who got penalized. But in reality, the people who were going crazy on YouTube really had the most fans. So in reality, that's why I always argue with most artists. Youngboy got more fans than all these niggas. However, Youngboy don't got the most paying fans. That's the only problem. So essentially, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you have A Boogie who's incorrect because it's nothing that's changed since he dropped his last album. The only thing that has changed is that literally the anticipation is less. So this 3,000 that he's talking about always existed if niggas don't pay for shit. It's always been 3,000. At least for the last 4 to 5 years. Somebody said not all Youngboy fans are broke. I'm not saying all Youngboy fans are broke. But there was a stigma saying that Youngboy fans can't afford anything but YouTube. So that's why I'm saying that when they made this rule, they said, okay, this will kill off the YouTube niggas. Because put it like this. At first they were saying it was 1,500 streams all over. But then people were looking at it like, well, why could it be? Look, DSP payout rates. Let's find a payout rate thing. So people were mad. Let me see if I can find a thing. Okay, here we go. Just look at this, right? People were mad. They were like, yo, okay. So people were mad because they're like, yo, so Amazon Music pays this, which by the way, this has got to be, is this new? I don't know what date is this. Oh, this is 2019. Okay, probably found a better one, but I'll rock with this. Amazon Music. Nobody really uses these, but Tidal. Don't put in YouTube Red because people are paying for YouTube Red, right? And most people don't have YouTube Red. So it's Amazon Music, Tidal, Apple, Google Play, Spotify, right? Really, most people don't have Amazon Music Unlimited. People have Amazon Prime. So in reality, it's Tidal, Apple Music, Amazon, and Spotify. And then, what else? Then YouTube, okay? That's how the payout goes. So what happened was they realized that this little thing right here, which is one of the lowest payouts, we're getting the most streams. So they're like, yo, if YoungBoy's racking up 300 million plays in a month, but his payout isn't equal to what niggas is getting because their shit is streaming on Apple and Spotify and Amazon more than YoungBoy, why is he getting reported as the most sales? So that's why they introduced this weighted thing. And I'm not saying that they targeted YoungBoy, but it affects YoungBoy. You know what I mean? Anyway, essentially after they did this, they came up with this whole new thing. And yeah, pretty much Boogie's wrong, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boogie's wrong. If these artists really care about streams or care about sales, they should go back to selling vinyl and go back to try to do, there is a way to still bundle. Artists can still bundle, but you got to sell physical product. And you got to sell physical product that you could deliver the day of or the week of, actually. Unfortunately, hip hop, and I'm telling you this is me telling you, hip hop is not selling well these days because fans have now hit the cheat code on realizing the music they're listening to is only for the moment. TikTok went from helping to hurting. People move on quicker. People ain't really anticipating no more as much. And people only look at a select few artists like, damn, when is he gonna drop? When Travis drops, even without the merch, remember people been saying this. Oh shit, they took away all the merch money from Travis. Now he's just gonna flop. When Travis drop, it's going to be fucking chaos. He's gonna sell just like how he was selling without bundles. You know why? Everybody, bro, just think about it. Do you want a Travis album? Yes, right? Duh. He's gonna sell like it's hot cakes. Everybody is dropping without build. Artists and the labels are in la la land trying to figure out how they generate anticipation again. Instagram don't even hit like it used to when generating anticipation. So how do they generate anticipation? They don't know. So most of these artists, they're phenomenal artists. But the thirst and hunger for their new music isn't like it was before because shit is just too streamlined and shit these days is just too accessible. And TikTok culture has just made it about moving on to the next. I'm telling you the truth. So now we're hearing every artist say, oh no, shit is stacked against us. No, it's not. You have to be you got to think out the box. How do you get people to care? You know what all makes all of this like irrelevant? Glorilla with like an EP sells $30K. She's a new artist. Glorilla just selling $30K. You know why? She got new energy, fun. Everybody wants a piece of it. It's like the new hot shit. It's like Gallery. Like it's some like clothing line, something like that. Everybody wants Gallery. You know what I mean? The older artists got to figure out a way how to make themselves wanted again. And again, it's just not about just popping back up on the scene, unfortunately. Unless you got a big hit. If you got a big hit, it will solve the problems. This is what it is.